Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here, and today I have a playthrough for Tiny Epic Defenders, the second edition. It is with the base game and the Dark War expansion. In this game, you are playing valiant adventurers. You are going to be going around defending the land against dire threats and trying to keep your capital city alive and not on fire. Along the way, you're going to grow in power, get some skills, level up, and attain artifacts. These are item meeples that you will gain throughout. This game has a very high toy factor, very appealing on the table. I think it's an underrated cooperative game, also in the Tiny Epic line. So this is a playthrough in an ongoing series that I'm going to have here in the One Stop Co-op Shop. I'm going to play through every Tiny Epic game. This particular one I think is a gem, and so I'm happy to bring it to you. Before I get into all that, let me tell you about the One Stop Co-op Shop. We are a gaming empire. We have the YouTube channel and the YouTube stream channel. Please like the videos that you enjoy on those channels and subscribe to both those channels. Really helps us with those algorithms. We have our podcast twice per week. Midweek is special topics, and at the end of the weeks are always gaming coverage, gaming centric for you to enjoy. We also have our Discord, excellent conversations, very fun, a very active community that is completely free to join. Of course, you can help us on our Patreon where you'll get exclusive access to videos. But if you just want to be part of our community and contribute ideas and just talk about your favorite solo cooperative games, the Discord community is open to you. We are the One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for solo and cooperative gaming goodness. So I'm just going to jump right in. I'm going to explain the rules as I play the entire first round. So the heart of the game is this turn deck. This has cards that correspond to the enemies and the player. So I'm going to shuffle through its variable player order depending on when I draw the proper card. I can either go with my heroes or I have to be subject to enemy fire. I'm going to run through this deck throughout the entire first round. In subsequent rounds, I'm going to add cards from this reserve one at a time, which makes this deck more and more lethal. At the end, I'm going to encounter the epic foe, and that is the win condition for Tiny Epic Defenders. Defeat the epic foe before the capital falls. You notice I have these wagons. There will be one wagon appearing per round, and I have to rescue the wagons. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. I just want to let you know that they're there, and this is Dark War expansion content. First round is always the same. The top cards are going to be enemy cards, and the bottom cards are hero cards. The land starts peaceful and placid, and there is no threat around, but that's not going to last too long, is it? So these enemy cards are all the same. They all attack two different areas. So you just do that one at a time. In this particular case, it would be the coast and the desert, which goes up one threat. Pull the next card, coast and forest. Looks like I'm going to have to take care of the coast throughout subsequent rounds because there's more attacks on the coast. And the last card are the mountains and the ruins. So that gives me something to do right at the beginning of the game. And it is now green's turn. Every time you pull one of your hero cards, you're going to get 3 actions. There's conditions in the game that can increase that, but for now, 3 is okay. So an action is move. Anytime I move in or out of the center city, I can only move along this parallel track. If I want to get to the outer city, I can go like that, but this is the route to the central city. So I'm going to go move 1, and then I'm going to secure. Secure is lower the threat of an area. Very important. If I allow threat to increase to its maximum, then the city or the area is going to be on fire. That's bad, because further attacks in a destroyed area are going to land in the capital. If the capital reaches this burnout phase or this destroyed phase, that is how you lose the game. So you want to absolutely try as much as possible to keep the outer areas healthy and secure. For my last action of the round, I'm going to go to the coastline. The next card I pull is the All Defenders card. So if I pull in an individual color, then I can only go with that individual character. Here I can distribute the actions across any number of characters, either go with one character, all those actions, or split them among the two. This is the balancing mechanism for lower than 4 players. So if you play with 4 players, you would just have 4 different colors. Here, so just to keep the turn order straight. On this particular turn, I'm going to take all of my actions with the yellow player. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and once I enter this area, that's when bad things happen. So this area is particular to the Dark War expansion. When you play a Dark War game, you're going to replace one of these 6 outer areas, which are pretty straightforward in the normal game. Here, you're going to replace it with the hostile version. So something bad's going to happen to you when you enter this area. You're also going to have a friendly area, which I'm going to show you a little bit later in the playthrough, but for now, I have entered the Badlands. In this particular case, then that means that I get a mark of death. So here's my birdfolk. That is my yellow character for the game. So that would mean that I would lower my maximum hit point. So now that I have this mark for death, my maximum hit points is 3, not 4. I can take care of that in a future action. But I'm not too worried about it for now, so I'm going to spend my final action lowering threat in the ruins. And so the next turn card I'm going to pull is the monochrome yellow, and now I get to show a couple of things that I can do with this card that I cannot do with the All Defenders card. First of all, there is an action called Sacrifice. So I normally have 3 actions in a turn. However, I could exert myself. I could lose a health in order to get an extra action. So since I've lost a health, I now have 4 actions. I cannot do that with the All Defenders card, but I can do that with the yellow. So I have 4 actions on a turn. So I have my 4 actions on a turn. The first thing I'm going to do is a new action in the Dark War expansion. I'm going to level up my skills. So this is a extra set of powers. So every character is going to start with an opening skill, and I'll show that skill as we go on in the playthrough. In order to use those skills, you need XP. And you're going to get XP as you adventure and defend against monsters, but you can also just work out. I guess you do like a little training montage. Imagine my meeple is kind of doing push-ups in the ruins or something. They get some skill. So for my first action of 4 in the turn, I'm going to get myself 1 skill point. All right, so for my next action, I'm going to go ahead and move to the plains. And you notice that there is this wagon over here. So a victory condition in the Dark War, along with defeating the final boss before my capital city falls. I need to rescue all of these wagons. These represent character, or like, I guess, non-player characters, denizens of the land that need to escape into the capital city away from all the stuff. So now that I'm here, I can move into the capital city. However, in order to move with a wagon, I need to spend a skill point. That is why I did that. I bothered to get the skill point in order to be able to carry this wagon. So this is my second action of the turn. And the wagon is now safe in the capital city. I have rescued it. So that was 3 actions. 1 to gain the skill, 1 to move, 1 to move with the wagon, spending a skill. So now I'm back down to 0. But when I rescue one of the wagons and I make it to the capital city, I get 2 experience points. So I am ahead of the game right there. And so the reason I use that sacrifice action, 1, I wanted to show it to you. Second is that is how you deal with this death mark. So I'm going to use my last action of the turn. I'm going to spend an XP and that action to return this and heal myself of the death mark. That is the end of the turn for yellow. And so my final card of the round is an All Defenders round. I intend to take an action with yellow. So when you begin in the capital city and you are going to take actions, you can heal to full. So that means yellow right here is going to heal to full because they began in the nurturing area of the capital city. We are going to set up for next round. The yellow player is going to go here. And this particular area is Power the Plains. Safeguard, you may defend the 2 adjacent outer regions. I know that these 2 regions are going to get attacked, so it's a nice defensive position to take care of all that. I have 2 other actions with the All Defenders card. They're going to stay right here because they want to be able to defend the coast because it's lots of enemies that are coming there. They're going to spend those 2 actions and reduce threat to 0 right there. if they wanted to, they could use an action to use the power of the land. In this particular case, the coast is move any defender to any region. So that's going to be useful. So that's an option that I have in my turn. But for now, I like where I'm at. And that's the end of a full round of Tiny Epic Defenders. End of round stuff, I will take all of these cards. I would mix in another card secretly. I will not know what the area is attacking. There is also the option that this could be a quote-unquote dire enemy. So I'm going to look out for that. I have this here. I'm going to turn this around, so that will be where this shows up. That's very convenient. They see me guarding the coast. They're like, help me! Take me to the capital! Oh, maybe later. After I defend the land. So I am now ready to begin the second round of Tiny Epic Defenders. All right, so let's get into the rest of the playthrough. So at this point, let me introduce you to the player characters that I have selected. I've showed you most of what they do, and it's just their special powers. So look at all of the characters that are available. There are a ton of different characters. Some are a little bit more complex, or they do kind of rare things. For the most part in the base game, it's very simple powers, very repeatable, very globally accessible. In the expansion, I'm playing with 2 expansion characters. I find that the powers are a little bit more edge casey. When you have them, it's great. You're not going to use them all the time, but that's okay. I like the variety. So we have Mantidea, Insectoid Scion. Her special power is the mass heal whenever she defends against a dire enemy, and that'll come up in a little bit. You may pay 2 skill to heal 1 to all defenders or restore another defender to full. Using her a couple of times, nice to coordinate that heal for when I really need it. And this one is Terex, the Birdfolk Raptor. Right there, their special power, when you defend against a regular enemy, you may lose 2 to defend both attacked regions. That's a nice get out of jail free card in case some area that I can't get to needs defending. All right, let's see what happens to our intrepid heroes. So we have coastline and desert right there. So the coastline is going to be defended by my insectoid. They are going to gain an XP when they defend. So that is really nice. And we also have the desert, and Terex is going to gain aid XP because they're in the plains and they can defend both of these outer areas. Good start. Similar things. We got ocean, but we also have forest. The forest I can't do too much about. That's why I wanted to lower the threat there. And some more defense. Yes. More XP. Wow. Getting all those early, huh? Mountain and ruin. So the mountain goes up 1. Don't like that. Have some more defense. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Terex is there. So instead of lowering that threat, they are going to lower their hearts by 2, and they are going to defend both of those areas. And in that particular case, they're going to gain 2 XP because they defended twice. And it is now green's turn. And just so you know, with regard to the skills, don't know if I explained this before, when you hit level 8, then you could at any point spend all 8 XP and get another skill card. So you'll have 2 skills available to you. In addition, you also heal to full. So that's a nice thing to coordinate there as well. So in terms of their skill card, they have a really nice skill that they pulled at the beginning of the game called Soothsayer. Spend 3 to basically scry the deck. I like doing it with the Scion character because she gets so many benefits from defending against the dire enemy card. Good to set up where they come from because they don't know, at least initially. But I've already seen most of the attacker cards. It's mostly player cards left, so I'm not going to bother scrying. Maybe next time. Instead, I'm going to go spend a skill and a move to go here. I'm going to take down the threat 1, and I'm going to spend a skill and a move to go here. That brings me down to 2 skills, but by bringing the wagon home, I go back up by 2 skills, and that is my turn. All right, so we are going to pull an all defenders card deck, so we're going to go with a yellow. So first things first, we're going to go here and lower the threat by 1. The power of the desert is that I can lose a heart to scry the top 3 cards of the deck. There are only 3 cards in the deck, so I'm going to go ahead and check it out. This may be the dire enemy, or at least a card that I'm not familiar with. Okay, I got the 2 activations and also these areas. So it's a regular enemy card. I'm going to go ahead and set that up. They're going to put this in the bottom and have the rest of the cards ready for me. That cost me a health. I am now at 0. All hope is not lost, though, because the game is very explicit about what you cannot do. You cannot secure, defend, or fight. Fight being the way you beat the final boss, but I can still run. So we are going to go back here for my final action of that turn. Next card is another All Defenders card. So we are going to pull yellow into the safety confines of the capital city. Green is going to go, and since they are beginning a turn in which they are taking turns in the capital city, they get to heal to full. Fantastic. And since I know that the mountains are going to be attacked, we're going to go 1, 2. And we're going to station ourselves there for the defense on that one. So you might have noticed that there's this Manticore that is hanging out on the mountain space. So that is the friendly tile. Remember when I said in the Dark War, one of the tiles is going to be unfriendly, which is this one. This is the friendly tile. So I'll be able to use an action to ride the Manticore, and the Manticore acts as a kind of an uber defender. You can defend without losing health, but you don't get XP or any of the good stuff. So it's just kind of a soaking damage there. So on a future turn, I'll be able to jump on this Manticore. Not worth it now because it just resets at the end of every round, and I'm close to the end of the round, but next round I might jump on the Manticore. And of course I set this up. The next turn is for yellow. Yellow is going to heal the full. Oh, baby. That's how to do it. Manage the health. And we're going to go 1. We're going to wait over here. And because I have this card over here, I could not do this with the All Defender, but I can do it with the monochrome card. I'm going to spend 2 to level up my XP. So I'm in position to take the last card, which is Desert and Mountain. So Mountain is covered. We're going to get that. We're going to gain an XP. And yellow is covering the desert. They're going to lose 1 and gain an XP. So close to 8. Fantastic. That is the end of round 2. Here are the spent cards. We're going to go ahead and check out where this cavern ends up, the ruins. So let's go ahead and put that there. We're going to shuffle this card in and set up for the next round. All right, so we are now on to the third round. Let's go ahead and see what we get. We start with an All Defenders card. It's pretty neat. All right, so the Scion has a skill card, and we're going to use this skill. Soothsayer. They can scry the deck, just like I did with the Mirage, only it cost me skill points. And it cost me 3 skill points, putting me at 0. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Ooh, we smoked out the Dire Enemy. So the Dire Enemy cost 2 hearts to defend, and they have some kind of effect. But now that I know they're coming to the ruins, I can defend them. And this is how I get artifacts, by defending them. All right, but we are going to delay their coming a little bit. Okay, so we're going to get the mountains and the ruins there. I happen to be set up to defend both of those areas, so let's go ahead and get that out of the way and get another turn for green. But we still have our regular turn to do. So I'm going to distribute the actions. Yellow's going to go here. They're going to get their Mark of Death. They're going to stay there because they know what's coming, and they're going to use the action and a skill point to just take that back and just kind of like beating it off of them. Get off of me, Death. Eventually they're going to grab this and move over and bring it home, but that'll be in a little while. And this character is going to ride the Manticore. Yeehaw! All right, I know what this is. So we are going to defend and get some XP with green. Since I'm riding the Manticore, I'll be able to block them with no health loss, but I do want the XP. So I'm going to go ahead and take the temporary hit there. And this character will block what's happening in the ruins. Boom. All right, so I know what the next card is. It is Mountain and Ruins. So Mountain, I'm not going to block with the Manticore just yet because I want the skill. Because I need the skill in order to fire off their power. And the Bird Folk is going to defend just fine. They are now at 8. And I'm going to hold off on the heal for now. And the skill up, just for now. Okay, green is going. I knew this was going to happen, so we are going to go 1, 2, and get ourselves into position right there to defend against the Dire Enemy. But before we left there, we are going to have lowered threat, so that makes 3 actions in the turn. And so here it is. Here is the Dire Enemy, but they are blocked. So normally this would be a drain. The defender with the most health loses 2, as well as the hit. So they hit the area, they hit the whoever's there if they're defending, and they're also draining life. Pretty wicked, but I block it successfully with my this character over here. They gain a skill point from defending, and they spend that skill point immediately to execute a heal, which is going to be, well, first of all, let's spend the health on that, and then they're going to raise both of their health by 1. Health is precious in this game, so don't have to worry about that at all. Green also gets an artifact, which is the Tome of Lore. Gain 2 skill points when you enter the capital city. They're planning on using a lot of those skill points, so sure. Here we go. So then we have our item meeple, and we have the tome. How cute is that? Amazing. The toy factor in this game is just amazing. All right, let's see what else happens to me. We got forest and coastline. Can't defend everything. Right there. And we have coastline and desert. Gonna have to take care of that coastline very quickly, but the desert is covered by this character. So the Manticore can defend. The Manticore is on the plains. So that is a nice little combo right there. So we are defending the desert. No XP gained, but no damage there. And the next card is yellow. All right, so now it is yellow's turn. They're going to spend the heart in order to get the 4th action in a turn, that sacrifice action, because we are going to spend the XP, get to full, and I have already acquired this Intimidate card. Intimidate, if a dire enemy attacks your current region, you may spend XP to move the attack to another region. So if I have enough XP, I can kind of keep on shuttling them along and get them over to the Scion. Useful. And we're going to use our first action of the turn to get 1 skill. With that 1 skill, we're going to move this card over here. So that represents the 2nd action of the turn. And because I already know the last card of the deck, because I'd seen it before, just got to remember what cards are in the deck and what's going to get attacked. It's these 2 areas that are going to be attacked. So I'm going to use my last 2 actions to go ahead and move over to the Manicore's area, which is why I want it to be there. Let's see if I get that card next. Yes, I do. So I'm going to get ahead and defend the mountains, get some XP there. And I could block that. But I'm going to end up in the capital city anyway. I need a heal, so we're going to use our last health and get 1 XP out of that. All Defenders card. The other reason I wanted to use get the XP and drain down, besides the fact that I'm going to heal, let's go ahead and leave that Manticore outside. I don't know what's going to do in the capital city. I'm going to spend that XP, my last one, and bring the 3rd caravan into the center city. With the ball artifact, just going into the city gets me 2, and I get another 2 for bringing the caravan back. Sweet deal. And I'm going to end there because I want that full heal because I'm down to 0. I have 2 more actions in the turn. I'm going to move yellow over here. And I'm going to actually secure this area to get it to 0. I know that opens this one up a little bit, but one of the cards that attacks the coast also attacks the forest, and the bird power can cover both. So at least I have a little bit of a hedge to recover the coast if I want to, and I get a little bit of extra securing there. Got to know your powers in order to coordinate everything. So that is the end of the round. We get another card. That could be the 2nd dire enemy of 2. So there's only 2 dire enemies that are going to play with this game. If you want a harder game, add more dire enemies. And we have a caravan that is going to the desert. All right, so now we are in the mid game. And I don't love how my defense is set up, but that's the way it goes. All right, mountain and ruins. I have coverage for neither. Boo! Oh, well. And mountain and plains. This is a new card. So the plains haven't been hit yet, and the mountains are a little bit more sensitive. I have gone through some really bad streaks with this thing. I could lose or at least really come close to the coast right now. We'll see what happens, but it is yellow's turn. All right, for yellow's turn, we're actually going to go 1, 2, 3. Threat assessment over here. I could shore up some defense over here, but I have a trick for that, and I want to be able to make sure I get that dire enemy defense going. Don't want to end here because of this nonsense, but it's good enough to Defend from the plains. Yes! Beautiful. Gotcha, you dumb wraith. And it was yellow that defended this time, so they get their first artifact. Yellow is going to get Hammer of Might. Immediately reduce one threat in the outer region where you end your turn. I'll take it. All right, so now the item meeple goes on the character. Looking good. So I had gotten a skill point, and this is the trick that I was mentioning. It is this scout thing. Spend one at any time. Does not specify on your turn, so I can do it any time to go to the opposite region. So now I'm in position to guard against this thing if it gets hit with the certain card. So happy with that. All defenders. It turns out I didn't need it too much. All right, so let's go ahead and move 1, 2, because I do want this caravan. And we are going to move this character 3 because of their hammer. I'm inspiring the populace. The threat goes down just by ending my turn there. Love that. And by having begun the turn in the capital city, the Scion's health is full. Okay, we got coastline and desert, which happens to be the areas that I am guarding the most. They are spent, but I am perfectly okay with that. We have the mountains and the desert. Mountains are... Well, at least the Scion is there for that. I'll take care of that in a second. And green's turn. All right, it is green's turn. They're going to spend the health to get the extra action. And this is a little bit skill inefficient, but I don't see another way to do this. So I'm actually going to go from 6 to 3. I'm going to spend 3 skill points to move 1 with the caravan, 2 secure, 3, 4 end my turn in capital city. So I've delivered that inefficient because I had to take the long way around to put that there. I did spend the 3, but I do get 2 or 4, 2 from the Tomalore and 2 for delivering the caravan. So I made out ahead, right? Okay, the last enemy card is Forest and Coast. Unfortunately, because the raptor is, or the raptor bird or whatever that is, out of health, they cannot defend, but valiant in their efforts to protect the land and all defenders. Green is going to go into position to guard against the dire threat for next round. Yellow is going to lick their wounds at home so that when they go next, they'll get all their health back. Go ahead and put yet another card into the lethal deck of turns and a caravan in the forest. All right, next round is set up. Let's see what happens. Ocean and desert. So the ocean is... It's not the end of the world to have a destroyed area, but not the ideal either. But I have this character who can defend. Yes. And they are going to go to 8. And you know what that means. Get that more on the camera angle. I can get this XP or spend all the XP, have the heal, but I'm going to hold off on just a second, see if I can get another good defense going. So we have mountain. Ooh. Well, good thing I defended there. I have 2 very precarious areas. And the ruins. The ruins, I'm just going to take it. And I will not gain XP because I'm at max right now. Should I spend it? Not quite yet. Let's see if I get that dire enemy. I do! Yes! The Wraith, who has not inflicted their secondary attack on me because of good planning, going to go down to 0. And I do not gain any XP, so that's fine. But I do gain another artifact. The artifact is Skull of Ball. Spend 1 XP and 1 heart. Does not specify that I have to spend an action, so I can do this at any time. Look through the turn deck and pull out any 1 defender card and shuffle it. So if I feel like I'm in a area where I'm getting too many enemies, I can use this. Fantastic. And that is what this little guy looks like. Look at that. They were not able to use their power to heal. There's no one to heal. Because the other character is in the city already. So we are just going to spend the XP, get that, and we're going to get another skill. The skill is Imitate. You may use the skills of any defender in your current region. That's not that great. Boo! Oh, well, at least it's there. I should specify it's not that great for my situation right now. Other games, it's totally great. All defenders, see what I can do. So I wanted to be able to use this Soothsayer power, spend 3 to scry the deck, but that heal was more important. There's nothing I can do about that. But my Raptor is back. They are back at full. They're ready to rock. So we're going to go 1. I'm going to leave you there for a second. 2. You're going to end the turn there. So let's go ahead and use your hammer there. And we're also going to use this power. Power is dispatch. You move this defender to any region. No brainer. I have left these areas alone for too long, so now I have some defense. I have 2 full heroes, feeling much better about that. Okay, forest and coastline. So because this is the Raptor is going to use their double defense and defend twice and gain the 2 XP off of that. So that's nice. Mountain and plains. Plains, unfortunately, is uncovered, but the mountains, savior. The Scion is going to take care of that, get the XP. Yes! Caught it! Harpy! That is the second and final dire enemy. If they hit, they would increase the outer regions that have 0 threat to 1, but I'm able to block it with my Scion. The play area is getting nice and big, I'll tell you that. They're going to lose 2. They're going to gain an XP. They're going to spend that XP to use their power to heal both. That is very nice. And also, this character is going to get another artifact. The artifact that they are going to get is Dragon Familiar. Spend 2 actions, reduce a threat in any outer region. So you're kind of sending the Dragon Familiar out to do your bidding. And this is, I think, the cutest meatball. I'm so glad I got it. So we got 2 front and 1 back, and that's all they can do. If this character gets any other artifacts, then they would have to either keep it and chuck 1 or just discard the artifact. But they are ready for battle. And they get an All Defenders card. I think I pretty much got all the monster cards for this turn, so I'm going to have a lot of turns of my own. All right, so I'm going to plant myself here. I'm not worried about that thing for now. The monsters can't affect it. I have plenty of time to get it in the capital city. I just need to end the game with all 6 in there. So we're going to go 1, 2 with this character, 1 with that character. The reason I activated them was because at the end of their turn, they can lower that with their hammer. Fantastic. Now it is Yellow's turn. Yellow will take care of this. So now that the coastline is pacified, we're going to go 1, 2. We're going to get some XP for landing in the middle with the caravan. And 3 because the last enemy card is going to hit the desert. Next card is going to be the green's turn. So what they're going to do is they're going to reduce by 1. And they're going to skill up. They're at 0. Now they're at 2. Nice to have some skills to fire off some powers. Final card is Desert and Mountain. What I'm going to do is, because the Terrax can defend both of them because they're in position to defend the desert, they're going to defend both of those. They're going to get the XP, and they're going to spend the XP immediately. Because they leveled, let's see what they get. Hunter, spend 3, immediately move to and defend any region. You do not gain XP this way, so spend the XP. That's nice. If I have one criticism of the skills is that the area gets very cluttered. So just have to mind everything, all of your skills and artifacts and everything. Last card in the turn deck before the epic foe, and the final caravan goes to the mountains. All right, final full round before the epic foe. We have the forest and coast. That one's familiar. Go ahead and do that. And all defenders. Very nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our new Dragon Familiar. We're going to spend 2 actions of those common actions. We're going to lower threat in the coast because I know the coast is very vulnerable. And I'm going to use my 3rd action to mount the Manticore. So we got Manticores. We got all these items. We got all sorts of nonsense. The Dragon Familiar. I love this game. Now this would be the perfect time to scry the deck and see what's coming, but I only have 2 of the 3 skill points that I need. Boo! All right, let's see what else happens to me. Coastline and desert. So the coastline is pretty secure. Going to you. That's easy enough to do that and get some XP there. For yellow, Harpy. Oh, baby. That's nice. The Harpy runs right into the wall of defense that is my character over there. They're not going to spend the XP, or they're not going to defend with their health. They're going to defend with the Mana Core. I don't get an artifact, but I'm happy with that. That is fine. Harpy getting eaten by Mana Core. You got to put your imagination into this one. I love it. All right, we have Desert and Mountain. Once again, the Mountain will be defended and not spend some health, but I will spend health with this character and get some XP going. So that's pretty cool too. Ooh, I'm getting hammered. So this card I'm actually going to defend with the Raptor power. Let me go ahead and show that. I had lost 2 health in that last battery of defenses, so we're just going to go to 0. We're going to gain 2 XP guarding both of these areas. Can no longer defend with the yellow player, but I'm getting so many enemy cards now that I'm not worried about my defense a little bit later. I'll heal up when I can. I'm going to heal up right now. All right, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to move that character there. We're going to move them there, spend the 1 skill. I'm not going to move this character in there because it's just hard to futz with, but I am going to move them into the capital city and then spend my 3rd action to move it back out. So I spent 2 skill, but I got the 2 skill back, getting the caravan into the city. I also got the 2 skill from the ball book. Fantastic. All right, let's keep it rolling. Green is next. They are going to secure this area, and they're going to end up in the mountain space. I was hoping to do that, because most of the last enemy cards are going to hit the mountain. Yep, mountain and plains. The Mana Core is going to absorb the mountain attack, but the plains, unfortunately, look at that, down to 0, so they do raise in threat. All right, next card is yellow. And I've been thinking about this. I'm actually going to do a bit of a kamikaze mission. So they can't do anything, or they can't do the regular things because they're at 0. But we're not going to go into the capital city. We're actually going to go into the ruins. Ooh. So they they secured for 1. They're going to move in here. They're going to get this unfortunate thing right there, but they are going to spend their last action and an XP to shake it off. No more death for me. I will show you the reason I did that in just a second. No, I'll just take me a little bit. They're going to ignore that over there, and but the threat over here, this went down because of the hammer. It's going to go back up 1. And here is the Wraith, which would normally hit this area, but kamikaze move, intimidate. If the direct enemy attacks your current region, move spend XP per region away. Yellow currently has 3 XP, so they're going to spend that XP. That enemy is going to go 1, 2, 3 and attack that area right there, going to attack the Scion. The Scion is going to block with their health, which is fine. And then they're going to spend 2 XP to heal the other character to full. Fantastic. I definitely want to keep yellow functional because they're the better defender, so I'm okay with that trade over there. And they get a back item, the Tinkered Automaton, but I like my Dragon Familiar, so forget you, Tinkered Automaton. All right, so the epic foe is the Ice Golem. So every epic foe in Tiny Epic has 10 hit points. I'm going to put the marker here, and I'm going to use my fight action to deal some damage, 1 damage per fight. And going to have to deal with its special ability. Special ability, defenders in all regions must now pay 2 actions to move. No! And in addition, as I do damage here, they're going to proc this like kind of mean face power. They are going to move 1 region clockwise, and defenders must now pay 3 actions to move. Oh, that is horrible. We'll see how I do. All right, so I have to be careful because the Mana Core shakes me off at the end of every round. So, and the Scion has 0 hit points, so they can't defend. See what happens. Wraith, hey! My raptor creature has some defense. They are going to lose the 2 health. They're going to get that 1 little XP, which might come in handy. And they're going to get an artifact. Wings of Zephyr. Spend 1. Move to any outer region of your choice once per turn. All right. So check that out. That is the wings, and they have their back item now. Hey, look at that. I look like Thor. I love it. And it actually, because this is not a move action, it is just an action, a special use action, it does not respect this Ice Golem power. I love it. Let's go ahead and put those wings down there. Great. Okay, all defenders. Oh, I got from pretty good luck to begin that one. So at this point, I should point out that nothing is destroyed. I was able to maintain the land, which actually, in this particular case, is a little bit bad for me. So if you can see the All Defender card, all defenders gain 3 actions to spend collectively, or 4 if there are any destroyed regions. Having a destroyed region would give me an action, which I'm going to really use. So I might let the town cook a little bit. Everybody's inside the capital. They're fine. I could go ahead and let the desert burn. It's burning anyway. So I might just do that to get the extra action. We'll see. So that's definitely going to happen. We are going to try to wail on this Ice Golem over here. We are going to retreat back here because you are at 0 health. Remember, for just entering, because of the book, I get to raise my XP by 1. All right, burn, baby, burn. Ruins and coastline. As I said, I think I'm going to just let some of this stuff pass and let it cook a little bit. Mountains and ruins. The ruins are racing to ruin all defenders. All right, so my Scion for beginning the turn is going to heal to full in the capital city. This character over here is going to use the power of the coastline. Spend 1, dispatch, move any defender to any region. Hello, right there. And the Scion is going to spend 2 actions to do 2 damage with fight. I'm all in, baby. Attack the rest of the land as you want. Green defender, fantastic. So we're going for broke. We are going to spend 1 heart to gain the extra action. We are also going to use Skull of Baal, spend 1 XP and 1 heart, look for a turn order card, and play it. So with those 4 actions, wham, 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 down to 4 hit points. They're going to start moving now, but I think I'm prepared for that. All right, so we're going to have to do some crazy stuff in order to make this work. So we're going to go wham and move this character clockwise away from it. He's like, too bad. But they have the wings of Zephyr. They're going to move again and hit it again, which makes them move again. So they are at 2 hit points. They're going to have 1 more movement around, but I think I am okay. That is all of my turns. Now I'm going to have the land roasted but good. Mountain and plains. I can't believe how well I'm doing. Usually I have a whole bunch of destroyed regions by now. Mountain and desert. Okay. Now we're headed there towards the mountains. Forest and coastline. There we go. Now, oh, actually, no, I can't believe it. This is a very durable land over here. That's the one, coastline and desert. So let's go ahead and move that desert. Coastline gets destroyed, and how it works is that you take the card that did the destruction, you turn it around, and that indicates destruction. Now I have 4 actions with my characters without sacrificing. So now this is the Harpy. They do attack, and I think I'm going to let that go. That destroys this land. Too bad, Mana Core. I still get to use the Mana Core. But this actually takes this dire enemy card out of the game because it is responsible for the raising. So that is right there. I'm actually okay with that outcome. And so normally this would be a very hairy situation. I have a whole fresh deck of enemy to go, but I am going to use my Skull of Baal again. Spend 1 heart and 1 XP, both of which I have. That puts the Scion down to 1. Spend the XP. We're going to dig out any defender card and put it on top of the deck and then play it, which is going to be the all defenders. Here is what's going to happen. This character is going to spend 1 to move there to the desert. The Scion is going to spend their fly ability to move their 1, and they're going to do damage. So we have 1, 2, 3 actions. The Ice Golem thinks it is slick, but it came right into the trap right there. And the Scion deals the killing blow. Oh, I thought I had powerful abilities. No. I love this game. And here you go. Here are the Valiant Defenders with their Valiant items. They are victorious. The land has been saved. This one happens to be my favorite, but I happen to dig all of the Tiny Epic games on some form or another, especially because Scott Alm, Michael Coe, everybody over there does such a good job taking care of us here in the solo community. Every Tiny Epic has a solo, and I'm going to be happy to bring those to you. So until next time, this is Jason reminding you that we will see you at the next stop.